abusiafo native ye momi bia kwa baby esa de ba ye this channel Alpha OneTV so na enim se news be security ma ye attorney general de ko discontinue wo court ye amaswale wo ye mu na inseme na ba enim se ndanga na branti enyem wi no na ngofobu amwede omo threatening ye sa abranti ma enche bia eno ede ofri mu agese na eyara osemie pa na right now no edru achi Agyapon ama sisi no ne ho akoko kadwe mu a wakase ba mi akwampo ede inimsa ewu ni obi agese anoshi pa the right now no inseme busa say who is the murderer of Ameswali sisi no ye ka chire attorney general say omo odan say on frɛ Agyapon no mene omonto tunano nyema kan ya sana abranti wuye and after abranti nso yedi ewuye ko nyema kan say muchini baby amombo no muchini baby nyema premises amombo no anchana abranti ni hui abranti ni wuye ase ba o me ni mobi so which is which enti omo kan chata you know something Omo freaking Japan on Brami in Sembiano because case we are there intimate and quota. Suspect Mumuna man discontinue case in their fine. But case our Ankasanka Sama Sabranti Asha quantity. And ya dear will be a penny. Ama this case are acquired never could turn so. Any ashin be a bit matiki, need to who the medrano. Yeah, can't chat and say any Ghana police service was on your being found. Come in good things in be a year. Ivan Chin have a kind bar, needing common tonight at all.
Cases in court. Now, bad news, my mom for a can once. So, you see, some of these, there are people who are demented. There are people who are more anchors or more issues. And I was psychopath. Akroma say, even a serial killer, and as for there are people who take pleasure when they inflict pain on others.
Yes.
And those psychological states in us. So you see, we must begin to do our things properly. And yes, I as soon as you kokuno state into me. Now remember your criminal name who says state is incapacitated in this regard to do proper investigation to ascertain why yes, don't you think there will be enough motivation for me to do? And people will be contracting people to kill people more. Because I'm a swallow young you have an MP, sitting MP na yekuna besi na yembuye. Na wo wa oton banchi wo dwam. Ana wa wo ye ordinary person wonam no. Wo na obi beku ama obi akwahwehwe. What I say? So I think say yen nyina in this particular case no say wake up call. Na ye make sure say ameswale nipa na yache no say one na ye no. Evidence ni dem nyina che say enyo no a. But the question is hwan. Because we cannot sit here and say he was not killed. That is why I'm saying that Attorney General cannot close the case. Now he can discharge the accused. Now, embodied investigate because a new government has come. They can gather all the past evidence, the various peoples involved, and begin to build a new case and find who the murderer is. Because at what point in time there is a murderer? Somebody actually pulled the trigger. The question is who pulled the trigger? We need to find. If the state we cannot find that, then we are giving people muzzles to go ahead and do some of these things. So I think that Attorney General and the team have a lot to do. This Ameswale case cannot go scot-free. And
I even remember, say, I saw no crowd evidence.
Exactly.
I think he went to the CID.
Yes, and Canada, Japan has stretched so at some point in time, just say, hold on. Exactly. And then I said, at some point in time, and some more money Anas and talk on the buy, and some and some point in time he was also accusing Anas, and then I said for them. So you see, these are key witnesses. This time no, the security need to bundle them together. What I say? Now evidence be on one and same be on you get it from them, and you begin to build the case because you see. Because the government, past government, not only interested in, they can build a case knowing that this particular case is going to fail. Then we close the case because very often that is what we do. But I am telling the states that this Ameswale case is one case that can never be closed. We need to find who killed him. Even if it take 20 years, we need to pursue and make sure we bring the killers of this young man to justice. And yes, sir, every single person fighting corruption in this country, you are in danger. Because this thing is an attempt to call people into submission.
Sure.
It's a desperate attempt to cow people into submission. Sabaya, issue no cause of miawano because you don't know the target will be put at your back.
Yeah.
We must begin to, do certain things right and make sure some of these things don't go scot-free. To pursue some of these things. I don't know why the Attorney General are free Nipana. It doesn't mean that the case, they discontinue.
Yeah.
I think we need to invite all the persons that in the past, no more involved. Some more can the various evidence. They started from your friend saying the basis. Now I'm building the case in app because in America criminal cases will be 30 years, but still they are able to get individuals who committed those crimes. What I say, and that is why we have cold cases. I'm for open. Your friend said the pass gate to ascertain some of the cases. Also, this Ahmed Swale case, I am telling the Attorney General, we cannot close the docket on this particular case. Because we cannot sit in a country where such a prominent individual will just be murdered in the cold blood, and at the end of the day, nothing happens. Yet, and a certain MP,
yes,
we have not been able to convict a single person. Sa sexy dodo mina sama modene ko bai boy baby obekom kra na kama for no ni. That is why yes. Yeah, now yes scapegoat. Then I say for because we need to pin it on somebody. But the reality is that we say baby honorize you through ye. What will be the interest on the part of this Akroma or more brebiasa or kwakukuno? See, even yes, Akroma, it means he was contracted
by somebody.
By somebody. Is the state not interested in finding who contracted that person? What I say?
Yeah.
So I think that our approach to investigating criminal cases in this particular country, is a setback for me. And I think that we need to enhance the methodology by employing some of these detailed forensic analysis based on DNA evidence. Because the punishments coming after some of these things are very consequential and life-changing. And we must employ all the sophisticated, we are available in recent times among for the year. Because America knows, you charge Obi with crime.
Yeah.
The next thing has to remember a capital punishment.
Yes.
And either letter injection or they hang you. And an electric chair, they do it. But nobody wants to kill an innocent person. That is why the investigative process must be clean, must be when you're not quite substantial.
Yeah.
A rising above reproach and a rebuttal be a nipano on in a year. So when you are punishing the person, then you know, say the scales of justice has actually been, balanced. When anyway, so I think that. Attorney General has discontinued the case, the
suspects.
The suspect, but the case cannot be discontinued.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he has discontinued the case. That is the reason why we need to delve the Ahmed Swale case. Social media and some there are a lot of evidence around.
Yeah.
We need to invite people, including Agyapon and others. Over the years or more, we need to do all these things just to ensure, exactly.
And
the very moment they don't arrest the person on the spot, and nobody will find the killer. You understand? So at the end of the day, politics na or mine na team obi kun or kunkwa. Na MP kura or shane them or tabro science or security one of them. Obi timi kofuru kokuna. How much more ordinary person one na baby? What I say? And some of these cases are koso obakaya abra Ghana yes san sika.
Yeah.
Before time I said Sika, there was this gentleman at is it Bank of Ghana or GBC, a friend in Roko from Pong. I'm told at the time he was resisting the processing and so forth. Oh, Jana Denim Nekobo to Okuno. Besinda, why the Kuno, Yehuni Pakro. And the most of these high profile cases now also Akroma a true contract killing and as a phone Yinano. Bakukra Nua. Yet to me, Anya a closure. I'm a family who say, as soon as in a year, Yacheno, and Timoma come and Tomu Yam. And our case is now built up. So this particular thing, actually, how unprepared the state is.
Yeah.
How your friends saying, Ayeni on top of some of these criminal issues. I am urging the Attorney General on collaborating with the security agencies. Now on providing all the necessary resources. We need a forensic lab. I don't know. I think they have, but they don't have it. They don't have enough. I don't know even as at now the state, the DNA database of all Ghanaians. Because sometimes to know that how far we are forensic analysis now who the person DNA on the Ghana. When you run it through the system, then the person will pop up. You see, you know, innovation, technology, and as for about to make some of these things very easy for us. Why are we not employing? Because police for now, almost they are not magicians. So, bet to me, Atenasia who say, as soon as in the kuno, pieces of evidence I believe in your wake, you know, that is what they piece together to arrive at some of these conclusions. So, for me, I think that we cannot just stop here. You see, you grow as a country, we need to grow because. Sir, arena where you drive into where people are being killed, contract killing, the political opponents, Yakobono, Yashi way down, say you're threatening a man for no. We need to go past this stage and begin to set the rules. Say, you might deal with the state, our resources. Because we are a smart criminal, we can sit in this particular country and kill and get away. I don't know media news. Papa be what tamale. You know who ye? Wakunipa Makoma more than 15. Oh, Akroma. So this is a serial killer. Living somewhere in the north. Oh,
and I'm social media.
Yes, or the north.
Wow.
Did you know what you know? Oh, who is I want to know about you or foul no do come with a kuno was you? But couldn't pay more than your friend saying 15 Akroma saying. Oh, the Meswala issue is a global issue. Obia is watching, and if we are unable to solve this case, we will be embarrassed in the eyes of the world because this is a guy. You may disagree with their methodology. And as onye nyankopon oye nipa obetime nyon run the floors na se for no but the fact of the matter is corruption and yenye no odwam yenni market ya be corrupt to unravel crime because crime in nya no open market you need to go undercover. And that is what they were doing. Yes, you may disagree with their methodology, but we were getting results.
I don't know so one yan is I say wunya.
Zana mekano. Because you market via akwa for the corruption or yeah, suma sigwa. Na suma sigwa one ko suma say better find it out. And that is what put that particular target on his back. And he's not the only person. At some point in time, I'm told Manasseh, let's see your family didn't Ghana. And some journalists even had to, run away. Because the state became so muzzled up and was ready to unleash terror and mayhem on the individuals almost standing up to the state because of the Niamana Ekoso. We must begin to set the record straight. This Ameswale case, I am urging the state, say it can never be closed. Yes, the accused person, on your guilty, let him go because also be papa and as a forum. And Ghana, how call your prisons are you aware that people are on remand for 5 good years? Yeah.
Because it's the latter part in, I think, President Bahama government, 2016 January. Yes. I'm a coup for 8 years. It's a 1 year crime, so it's almost 9 to 10 years.
Exactly. Now, will be the prison. Your friend is saying, Afoko, Nidwe,
Gregory.
Yes.
They to remand the
and do you know why those things happen? The police will accusation, is based on conjecture, assumptions, and supposition because only concrete facts to connect you. But elsewhere, they have evidence. I have forensic. Okay, the second of fire, DNA, so ye match and then the match, and automatically we are done. But you need those things into no a cell na
and the
Obika, ye jama kwa. Your friend say, I'm for Bakasa. Oh, yes, and those things happen. The security realm, those high profile cases, but I'm robber be terrorized. I'm for our way. We can get somebody to be that particular person. Yeah, but yeah, do you see do jail? We are away, okay, baby. Then just to come. Yeah, some of these things are detailed security where sometimes we don't need to go there. But yeah, the reality is that your criminal justice system, we need to enhance our methodology and make sure, say, we are able to get criminals based on some of this forensic evidence because on my on your bosom on your baby phone, I can say, the only thing between forensic scientific evidence. So I think that we need to improve on some of these things. Let us get a database. That database will include everything, including DNA, sample, your friends, a DNA way of LVR, and your conobia cocoobia. Suniana, what they carry niti and a ukuna, ya peke o DNA from Suniana. At least there are those who will be smart enough to wear, globes and then as a foreign. But you see, there will always be your friends saying a trace. But you be cry, Oko red dem hono, door or the inside there, a one share gloves no okowura obekunu no share gloves so you can harvest the DNA from the door then you match it against the system and then you find your killer. You understand? Why can't we do these simple things? I think we need to grow as a country.
All right.
Okay, Nanabaye. He was a minister of state, a cabinet one. Your friend is saying he was in power for 8 good years. Galam say at the time, no, not to say, and you're so nasty to the extent that it became a national phenomenon and a crisis. He was busy buying our hotels. Some suggestions never have. That is why, and I make us say, you see, you better politics na do baby. I bet we can't so many pounds serious.
Yeah.
Because yes, sir, we've been in power in the past. None wonder now what and even that 3 months pause period, no, doesn't solve anything. It will not solve anything. 3 months pause, no, what will you do?
More the other is
even if yes, I'm pause
for 18 months.
18 months, and then after 18 months, no, but yeah, worse. Because they were able to push ordinary people from the bush and brought in their very people. And now, Abranti Rebecca's party here, Sika.
Yeah.
So they make sure that party constituency executive were the people who were pushed into the bush. This particular suggestion is a funny one, and I don't know where he's getting it from. That will not solve it. Mekachro said the last time Mekachro, we need to be very aggressive. Fortunately for us, there is a difference between John Mahama government and Akufo-Addo government. Because the John Mahama government is ready to listen. But Akufo-Addo government wasn't ready.
Yeah.
John Mahama has availed himself to criticisms and then alternatives among for the Beba. That is why he had a particular engagement at the Jubilee House, listening to people. And we cannot sit here and say, oh, bibi. Some proactive measures have been taken so far. Yeah. And then I can't just call water bodies in for they are all no-go area and for them. There are people who argue, say, state of emergency. Makato say, Niaman as a way, no. So one yana say even would declare a state of disaster. Still people will go to the bush. Now state of emergency, and your papers will declare.
The papers, so any grounds or
any grounds. And if I not in a mining this or come with a massive. So we need to, hold the bull. The event said the bull by the horn.
Yeah.
Now you make sure say we implement stringent measures. Are long lasting. You bring your impact also. Now some of these stopgap measures na personal na and na let us go to the ground. Every single piece of land be an make ubehunu baby be obedient. So Kalam say no year to know. Obi assassin na year to know. So okona omuni hwa you find the owner. Or hen na dema na you arrest that particular person and whoever that is involved. Again, you obeje land na free independence. And again, some of these things, let us get them and prosecute them. Kalam say starting ye being who penyini bi ayachina prosecuting no even 2 years krada. Sam cry we or mom konum we are no shasa ase binom enonom tramo na nikura na ho no kwakope ba dey bi there are very people very often here some online here pictures na be social media or no scared to excavator. I think there your method no we need to shift because the financier is somewhere he has a lot of money and to go site A now we kwachi nipa ni nyina free so do omokwa ono wo sika nti obebo amanfo pa what ba na omo sign to wachi and why don't you target the person or the sika no ba no. And it's not as if we don't know them. Yeah. We know all of them. So I think the approach to next year vary. Because I made this approach of chasing a man from the bush. Growing up, running the time, I say, yo, soldier for the muram giddy. I could find the time crowd, I go west. Soldier for no more muram, no good, na birmoje. Yeah. Don't know Jai Abina and I've been to UK. Ebima could be a shop for more running business because Omokaji go to Modia. And you can read that from the from Watson report and one other investigations I call so. Now all those well all over in yet to become for fast or more for gold. So for them it's business. So I think that this time now what we need is a lasting solution. And my character said just like corruption. Let us make it a high risk venture. Oh, Galamse Mwaka, you know the consequences. Wow, what was say money panel or your henna? Once you know, say the consequences that await you. So it's not just about the person or saying so no. Now, wow, what they assassin or man or no, who are better in committing a crime, and you must be criminally liable. You need to bear some criminal liabilities in this particular stance because all your henna now so assassin will be too galam say so we need more. The mere fact that we now aware no doesn't absolve you of criminal liabilities. You understand? Yeah. So state adopted this particular approach na yakwa trust me so for no odwuma mo ye no omodwuma na so betia mo na ya nye na ye oh ye cheche amanfo wonwura me na ya kwakwase chamfan wo hye 40 beba because adwuma no mo ye ne sika dwuma
yeah
and ono chamfan na wo chi no ye sika kakra beba no obesimi atia to foforo de aba what I say so I think we need to and the brand champion na se for no ti na mo kekan making look like say your friend saying nothing is happening. We were in this country, me ya na me mpekwa kuba kwa analysis where asemasi ene na ye ko 87 graphic page 3 na so ye say na se for no na basa we don't grow as a country but the reality politics and the comparative analysis sometimes is very very important, you understand. Nipa na wo kan locus pen na wo because we locus standing and then they were fa but you were in power when we were fighting Galamsey. You were busy buying your friends Ghana for hotel also na wo sika kwa brigade Ghana no bi anya sika anya so and we sat down and this thing became a cancer. I am festive society now. Some measures are being done. Yeah, you may argue say they may not be enough because
yeah.
But I think that we need to come out with proactive measures. I bet me I making sure that very people behind this scheme, which for me is a criminal scheme, no. You bet me I get your more. Now you pass harsher sentences to them. Foreigners no more bano. You your more. Sad deportation suggestion there's absolute nonsense. Nobody's going to deport anybody.
Yeah.
So China nearby Ghana no be to Galamsey na ya China. Faith in Ghana ni suffer no, they should equally suffer the same thing because small scale mining crowd there and these foreigners are supposed to get involved. Yeah. And even the large scale mining because papa be no mo ye no Akroma. Go to Obuase na ko he emranti omo life e ho ensuo ni nsase e wo kro no hu nyina na say there is no future. Obuase is a toxic city because of mining a toxic way omo getting the town exposed to because I want say Obuase for there no monya free
for all these years and there no monya free this large scale mining na year 2 or because asase a wo be farming is poisoned enti wunni asase a wo de edan no kwa wo tell na tutu ase wunsu asai enti media say there na menya free what I say so this is what the last time I culture say your whole mining regime no we need to look at
Abusia 484 Inya kwatensema eye Ivan J innocent and I met to Jana and because this kind of a year case, any case I was here can say, oh, I see Kinti, oh, young into Yajim, Kono, Pacono, wearing a baby. Or say, Enke, bro for now. See, 2 need the Kuni Pacona, say, Sekaya, any type of equipment behind the Kuni Pacono. Or my work with DNA test. My work with forensic audit of that equipment na ekunu pakono. Even the body na kasa nipa te umiane kwa. Yeso suni mo it means this kind of test we do a different from body never wono. No mind akwa ko to eye efidie. No mind is audit na fafa the whole eye country Newz asemesi we dey kumni pakon because obia yare amako hospital da so we have any source of a year with DNA test ne kakra you want to say abrante we dey friends abrante we dey friends the same thing am ye ya bro aye nipa nwotwem we plane crash mo no ya o mande kwa ma no ne mo say adiwe aye o mane bo ama adiwe montala adiwe sa some year no and we don't form currency na into handsome so kakao tise ne catch age say niema MP4 ni binom yeye e kai e the fast abante city we can Agyapon e can say yes abante phenomenal swali baby o me huni bia no mpono ni on one cause premises comedy omombon even NPP headquarters come around company the omombono these days near on record is be a boy trim naka after Sabrant and say we know Kenya Pong Groya Saba Montin Mecans Baumin sa a wimbi Sani Mawinina Agyapon ba monti mekikai so we are telling the age Ayeni say fine nipa a ɔmo de saa Ayeni to nso so ne wo suspect no a year for ne so die na case na out in terms of investigation die untimi nka say bia ye jemu ana bisa ye pursue investigate I was in who met Akroma and based on Ayeni was saying all the evidence within Ghana I'm out for that evidence and was something more serious now more make sure say evidence in your bed and back gather no that metra now or that I'm a swallow I define galam saying so and you say no by jump on and I'm now say oh ka mama I did bit my mood my son galam saying is obit my band all galam saying for 3 months I better on no one can say mono during no time or banning or more banning galam saying for 18 good months there's what galam say 8 months so it's all 3 months now because of more banning no DNA baby fine and go baby to me the idea ba mama you be a wuti since I'm taught me friend go for no about Jubilee House obi anka na adwene wonti but all the time now no more fight almost so more fight so called galam say no no when you abre to aban hotels when you see katam kwa hobi gate and I want to talk aban hotels or a year kwa ewo Ghana ayenka Ghana as a whole Sani me we nyina akoso nanso wanfo ani anko galamsey ho by na wo wa betu President Mahama for so no nyini sei that this type of approach na beboa nanso NPP for nangasa mu na etu galamsey allegedly I want to see no ho kampo ide ne ho akegwemo a all the court wakoni aba ni mani bill the cells wapo akoni aba CID so okobeni yes is in a bank account na story not to stop listening to quite name be because of galamsey because we know the consequences of so near the edna question galamsey more ensure be say no nyane bi ni obesa say no yara wa ordinary person to maybe on galamsey obinya no ehun se na yini ma na nyade enya asamto anyway be no kan na bitima da che adwen under the comment such bitim to share I'm down for so any biashe. I have one Akroma.